Hello everyone and welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms video. This is Dragothien here, and today we're going to be discussing the last matchups of the OSIRIS Invitational set here. We've got one more set of matches, the final round, coming up on Sunday. And I wanted to go over what my picks are going to be for the winners, because so far I've done a pretty good job of nailing every single one in the last few weeks. So I wanted to give you guys my picks so that you can go ahead and get the most rewards from the betting that you can do on the Facebook page, and I believe there's a Google Doc out there that you can utilize as well. Again, before I jump into this is a sponsored content creation channel for Rise of Kingdoms. If you want to have all that good stuff every single day, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Make sure that you get all those notifications for when I put out content every day for Rise of Kingdoms. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the next screen, and I will go through the last four matches, and I'll show you what I think, or who I think is going to win. I'll see you over there. All right, so we've got the Osiris Invitational. Again, it's wrapping up here shortly. Realm of Horus has already technically won this event. However, again, there's still matches that we can win every single week when it comes to betting, and I wanted to show you which ones I think are going to win, who you should pick, so that you can get those rewards, and hopefully I'm right like I have been for the past 3 weeks. Basically, I've knocked out every single one and been right, so hopefully we can get the same thing going for this one as well. So to me, there's going to be really one match, maybe two, that's going to be a little up in the air. I think the other ones, yeah, I'd say two matches. The other ones are going to be pretty clear-cut in my opinion. No offense to the losing party. I just think that the alliance they're going up against is just a little bit more seasoned and tenured and has their stuff together a little bit more. So based off of what I've seen, that can change. That's why we play these matches instead of just anointing a winner beforehand, but I'm giving you the information that you need to go ahead and hopefully get some goodies at their expense. So let's go from left to right. We've got the first matchup of the day, which is going to be a doozy. And this is the one that I've been waiting on, because these are probably, in my opinion, the two best alliances in the game right now. In the game from an alliance perspective in Ark of Osiris. I think that both of these alliances have shown that they can win and win at a high level. So HKL versus 411K, that's going to be the 13 UTC matchup that you will see live on the Rise of Kingdoms page. I will be co-casting that with, I'm assuming, Gecko and or Chiskul. And then I will also be hosting and casting the JWM2 versus FN matchup Sunday as well on the Rise of Kingdoms YouTube channel. Make sure you come and join us over there so we can give you all that fun battle content inside of the Osiris Invitational last round. So, HKL versus 411K, who's going to win? Until proven otherwise, I have to go with HKL. I just do. I have to go with HKL because they haven't lost. They haven't lost yet. Look at it. They beat NBA 1. I don't know if they just didn't show up or what happened, if it was technical issues, but either way, they trounced them, obviously. HKL took out NCB, no problem. FN, no problem. JWM, which was the other large alliance in the Realm of Horus, that was the finals. They just destroyed them. HKL versus JWM2, same thing. BBTH, also a really good alliance. They got smacked around. 1008, same thing, smacked around. HKL definitely put it to every single alliance that they have done. I'm going with HKL on this matchup just simply because, again, they haven't been beat yet. And 411K, as good as they are and as good as they have been and as good as I've predicted that they're going to be, I think it's going to be a close matchup. It'll be closer than any of the other ones that HKL has gone up against. But I think that HKL is going to have the slight edge here, so I'm going with HKL for my pick. But 411K is going to make it a good match. I guarantee you that. That's one you definitely want to tune into the Rise of Kingdoms YouTube channel for, and listen to us cast it, because you're going to see strategies broken down. You're going to see battle content and all that good stuff. Now the next set of 15 UTC matches, you've got 3 of them here. JWM versus NCB, JWM2 versus FN, and then OV versus NBA 1. So, who's going to win these matchups? JWM versus NCB, I'm going with JWM. I think that, again, NCB is a good alliance, and they usually do pretty good as far as getting deep into the Osiris League playoffs. But JWM, I think, is on a little bit more of a caliber. They've proven that up until they get into the finals, And up until they've faced 411K, they've really been unbeatable. And then HKL, obviously, in the finals, they lost to HKL. So I think that they're that 1B kind of alliance where they're right there. They're ready to make that next jump, but they're just not quite able to get over that hump. But NCB is not that. NCB is, like to me, like a third or fourth alliance that's top 3, top 4. So NCB is good, but I think JWM is just that little bit better that they're going to go ahead and take that. So far, we're going for the Realm of Horus on this prediction, and I'm looking at the rest of them, and I'm probably leaning towards the same thing. But HKL, JWM is going to have the victory there. JWM2 versus FN. I think it's going to be a good matchup, and it's going to be a lot closer than we all think. If we look at FN, okay, they haven't beat anybody in the last 3 weeks, actually, because they've lost to big opponents. HKL, OV, and JWM, those are big, solid alliances. They haven't beat anybody so far. 411K beat them in the finals, but they beat NCB, they beat 1341, and they beat M8R. So, however, we got JWM, who did beat NCB as well, did beat NBA1, and lost to 411K, but it was a fairly close matchup. HKL beat them, of course, in the knockout stage for the finals before the finals happened. And then they beat MD2 and UCS, which are both solid opponents. I personally, again, just based off of the track record, I'm going to go with JWM2. This is the match that I will be casting and hosting on the Rise of Kingdoms channel, so make sure you join us there. This will be my pick. So far, HKL, JWM, JWM2. And then finally, we have the last matchup to go over, because there's only 4. OV versus NBA1. Now, OV put on a show for us last weekend when they ended up taking out the champions of the Realm of Anubis, 411K, and it was a very close matchup. They ended up winning it with carrying that last arc and really solidifying the open field to be able to do that. I didn't think anybody was going to get that last arc, and it was going to come down to provisioning, but sure enough, OV, being a very strong arc transfer and arc capture team, was able to go ahead and snag that last Ark of Osiris and win it for their alliance. And that was a very big win for them. That put them back up into the upper echelon of alliances. They had started to kind of slide down a little bit. Even though they've won their last 3 matches here, they lost to JWM, they had beat C9N, MFLD, they beat Rose, they beat Zero, all quality opponents. But towards the beginning of the playoffs, people were kind of wondering, because it's not exactly all the same players. It's newer. Some of the players are newer, but it looks like they've started to gel really well, and they've got the execution of their game plan down pat. They have definitely won out on all of their Osiris Invitational matches. So, with that being said, I mean, wow, that was a big win last weekend, and I think that if we're going up against NBA 1, they didn't even show up last week against HKL, so I don't know what they're going to be looking like here. Against OV, which, OV is probably, in my opinion, OV and JWM and 411K are probably the 3 alliances that I would see giving HKL the hardest time. But again, I mean, they already beat JWM. I think they already beat OV too, if I recall correctly. I'm not 100%. I thought maybe it was earlier in the matchup, but they hadn't gotten to the brackets yet. So that would have been a really good matchup to see as well. HKL versus OV. I would have really liked to see that one too. But I think OV is going to win here against NBA1. So again, it's going to be a clean sweep for the Realm of Horus. HKL, JWM, JWM2, and OV are going to be my picks. So make sure, if you want to go ahead and use these picks, you head on over to the Facebook page for Rise of Kingdoms, the official page. And there is a posting there where you can go ahead and comment with your governor ID and your picks, and they will send you the rewards, usually a couple days after the week restarts, for the weekly refresh. And then, again, there is a Google Docs system out there, although I haven't found it, and I honestly just haven't gone after and looked for it because I just used the Facebook page. So, again, that's going to be the winners, in my opinion. I think the matchups that you're going to want to watch is HKL versus 411K. JWM, I think, is going to have a easy time, not too easy, but easier time with NCB than they did with 411K, obviously. And then JWM2 versus FN is going to be a very good match. I just think the JWM2 has a little bit higher caliber of alliance players playing in Osiris League, having that experience. And then I think OV versus NBA1, assuming NBA1 shows up, or is able to show up, or whatever the reasoning behind why they didn't show up last week is, I think that's going to be a really good matchup to watch either. But we decided to do JWM2 versus FN because FN did not really get that much coverage this Osiris Invitational, so we wanted to make sure that they got some good coverage for the last week of the playoffs, the Osiris Invitational playoffs set, whatever you want to call it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I hope it's been informative. I hope you use my picks to go ahead and win some juicy goodies. I hope that everything is going well in your kingdoms. I will see you guys next time. Cheers. Have a good one. And take care.